Hey guys, I know that you're just got online, Callum, and there's a few other people coming on, but I've left open the chat and stuff so you guys can chat until 4 o'clock. We've got still about 17 minutes. Thanks. So the chat is on right now. I'll probably turn it off once the class starts, but if you guys want to email each other or text each other till then, that's fine. Remember, once you come in, just to hit your hand so that your hand goes down. That's very helpful too, so that I know if you've actually got your hand up. Yes, Aubrey? You can actually talk, the video's on. Let me see what you wrote. Hi, Neela. Oh, lots of people chatting. Good. Monica's. Yo. All right, I'll be back in a few minutes.
Hello, people.
Guys, don't forget to do your audio setup wizard so I know that you can hear me. Oh, look, there's me. I look fabulous as usual. I'm turning off my video because I don't like that. Oh, bye. There you go. Oh, sorry guys, I didn't mean to leave my talk on. We can listen to me cough for a while, that's fun. Callum, I'm glad your email worked to see that you're online. That's fabulous. So a bunch of you still haven't put your hand down yet. Nav, Gloria, Stella, just click on your hand, it'll put your hand down. Okay, for the people that haven't been here before, Germa, you can put your hand down now, just click on the hand. Under the tools at the top, I want you to slide down to audio and go into your audio setup wizard. So I'm actually going to share my desktop with you for a minute. Uh-oh. Well, that didn't work out. That isn't what I wanted to show you. All right, I'll go back to the Blackboard. So under Tools at the very top, you should see Audio, and then it'll be Audio Setup Wizard. And so when you get to the Audio Setup Wizard, I want you to go in and I want you to check your settings for your microphone and everything, and I'll be back online in about 1 minute, and we'll start the class. Hello. Okay, guys, we're ready to go. I'm going to just wait for 1 more minute or two because it says 3:58 on my clock in the classroom. But you should have by now gone under Tools and done your Audio Setup Wizard. And you can even do under Video, you can do the your camera settings just to make sure that if you want us to see you that you've got it right. But the one that is very important is the Audio Setup Wizard. And when you go in there, it adjusts your microphone up and down, and it adjusts your speaker up and down. So that if I'm asking you a question or if you're asking me a question, that we can hear each other clearly. So make sure that you do your Audio Setup Wizard as quickly as possible because we're going to get underway here, and I need you to be able to hear me. Now in a minute, I'm going to take the audio and video away for a few minutes. I'm going to leave the chat up. You don't have to have a microphone or a camera, Aubrey, but it would be good if you can at least make sure that you can hear me. So I want everybody to put their thumb up. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Shama can, good. Carson's away from his computer right now. Gloria, can you hear me? Good, I'm seeing lots of people that are on for the first time. That's awesome. I'm glad that you're there. Nabil, are you hearing me? Good, good. Tavin, you're hearing okay, William? Yeah, good. Okay, so we're going to do some work on multiplying by decimals less than 1 today. So I'm going to take you to, I want to show you something that we can do. So I'm just going to turn the page here. You'll see that there's a link on there. Now these links are really neat. And, oh, just hang on, I went to the wrong place. These links are really, it's driving me crazy. These links are neat because they're actually to the Nelson Math site. And what they do is they give you a little quiz. And that little quiz is for every section of, I'm going to see if I can do this. So you guys have to let me know if you can see. There we go. And this is just a grade 6 one. I just wanted to see. Give me, put your hand up. And I want you to put your hand up. So Alyssa, take yours down. Put your hand up if you can see the grade 6 math quiz on there. Okay, good. Lots of hands going up. So what you should be seeing before you is lesson 1, estimating products. Now, the neat thing about this, you can put your name in if you want to. You do the questions, and then what you do is there is a little slider next to them. Can you see what I'm doing? And it gives you a choice of A, B, C, or D. So these are a really quick little quiz. And I'm going to try and start the class with them and give you about 2 minutes. And at the bottom, you can check your work and see how you did. I will also put it up. I'm not too sure. I'm going to try and share I'll try and share it too, but I'm not quite sure. If not, quickly copy this down. You can see that it's on the screen right now, nelson.com. Math Focus, I'm going to make it bigger, if I can. Yeah, so far it's not working out too well for me. Just remember, guys, that sometimes it's a bit of a gong show for me too. I'm not quite sure. Sometimes, I made a whole new one. All right, so you might be able to copy that into a separate browser page. Try that. So I've put the link up right now, and then I'm going to go back to the sharing page. It's called a web tour. I'm going to put that back in, and I'm going to put follow me, and then I'm going to hit return, and you should see something that comes up that there's less than one estimating products. So, if the iPad doesn't show it, then in the Rooms browser, I actually put the URL in the chat. So if you copy that out of the chat and put it into a separate page, just open up a new tab, it'll take you to it. Now you don't have to necessarily do this, but I wanted to show you that they're there. And then what I'll do is I'll start every class by giving you that URL. It's in the chat supervised right now, and it's up for those of you that are not on an iPad that can share the desktop. So for the first question, estimate the cost of 3 kilograms of oranges if 1 kilogram costs $2.84. So today we had a question like this in math, and lots of people were struggling with it. So $2.84 is closest to what? Who can tell me that? Who can tell me what 2, if you can type it in or put your hand up. So Alyssa, what have you got? Just take your talk. Oh, lots of answers coming in fast and furious on the chat. And you're right, it's 3. So it's 3 kilograms of oranges. What are they going to cost if 1 kilogram costs $2.84, and it's an estimate? So what do you think the closest answer will be for the cost of those 3 kilograms of oranges? Think about, we've got 3 kilograms at $3 for every kilogram. Lots of answers coming through that look exactly right. 3 kilograms of oranges, if one costs $2.84, rounded to 3 would be 9. 3 times 3 is 9. So here's another one, and I think maybe we will just whip through these together. Estimate the cost of 5 meters of ribbon if 1 meter costs $1.29. So again, if we're rounding, what do we round $1.29 to? $1 or $2? Because we always round to the nearest dollar. So Nav says 2, Gurmal says 1. So Ben says 1, Callum says 1. All right, so we always look to the number. I'm going to put my pointer up. I don't think I can actually. So I'm looking at my $1.29. I'm looking to the right of the dollar, and I've got a 2. So rounding rules say if you are 5 or more, you round up. And if you are less than 5, then you don't round up. So this time it would be $1. So to estimate the cost of 5 meters of ribbon, if 1 meter costs around $1, what are we going to have for a cost? Oh, Gurmal's right. Stephen, Lexi, Nav, Ben, lots of you. Good. Now, estimate the cost of 6 kilograms of mixed nuts. If 1 kilogram costs $3.89. So before you ever think that you are not going to use this math, oh boy, are you ever, right? You are going to use this every time you go grocery shopping. Ask your mom. All right. 6 kilograms of nuts. Now we've got to round that $3.89 to the nearest dollar. So what are we rounding it to? Lots of right answers coming through. Stephen's got it. Nabia, William. Excellent. So we're going to round it to $4. So if we're in the store and we've got our little wallet or we've got our bank card, but we know how much money's in the bank, in order to buy those 6 kilograms of mixed nuts, we're going to need around $24, which is quite a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of nuts though. So 6 kilograms of mixed nut is around $24. That was B. So quickly now, just zip through the rest of them. And I don't know if you can see them on the page, but if you can't, then you should have taken that URL off the chat and put it up on a separate one. So question number 4, estimate the cost of 7 comic books if 1 comic costs $5.35. So what are we going to round that $5.35 to? Oh, lots of right answers coming around. That's right. The 35 cents is closer to $5 than it is closer to $6, so we'll keep it at 5. 5 comics at $7 each. What are they going to cost me? Oh, Lexi's right. 35. Ben's right. It's $35. All right. Next one says, oh, did somebody have their hand up? Nav, do you need a hand? Excellent. Lots of right answers there. Excellent. Excellent. Some of you have your hand up. Put them down. Yep.
My chat's not working.
Yeah?
Same. I have the same problem.
Yours isn't
Same.
working?
I have the same problem too.
Darn. I don't know why it's not working. If you, oh, at the bottom, does it say room? There's some panels right underneath the chat. The one that we're working on is the room.
Okay.
Did you find it? There's Nate, there's Callum.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good. So, excellent. Some of them weren't working before, but they're working now. Oh, so Shauna says that she closed it, then opened it, and it worked fine, and it was the same. So at the bottom, it might come up with moderator, and it might come up with different names, but what you want to be on is the room, because that's the conversation that we're having here. All right, so the next one was estimate the cost of 4 DVDs if one DVD costs $11.29. So what are we going to round that $11.29 to, $11 or $12? Jared, if you can't see, go out and come in again, because it should be there, or you should put it up in a separate URL. So the $11.29, most people are saying that's right. They're going to round that to $11, because when you think about it, it's closer to 11 than 12. And then times 4, $44. So lots of right answers coming through. You guys are doing a good job of estimating. So when we're estimating with decimal fractions or decimals, then we think about what we would round to, as if it was money. So here's 3 times 8.9. What are we going to round 8.9 to? William says 9. Lexi too. Those guys are fast. Yep, we're going to round it till 9 because it's 8.9 is closer. $8.90 would be closer to $9 than 8. So 3 times 9 would be 27, so it would be C. And then the next one, estimate 14.7, we would round to 15. That's easier to work with anyway. And 15 times 6, we could use one of those math tricks. So we know 15 times 2 is 30. So we do that 3 times and we get 90. That's right. And then 4 times 6.68. So what are we going to round that 6.68 to? William says 7. Stella, Neela, Subin, good. Math. Lots of you saying 7. So we will round it to 7. And 7 times 4, what is the estimate? Good job, Callum. Faster than a speeding bullet, some of you guys. All right, so it was 28, and then 9. 8 times 12.125. So are we going to round 12.125 to 12 or 13? Well, lots of answers that are right away right. That's 12. And 8 times 12 is, who knows your times table? See how fast you get it in. 96, Callum. Excellent. Stella, too. All right. So we want to be 96. And the very last question that was on that quiz is the area of the rectangle. 7.2 times 3.8. So it's going to be around 7 to around 4. And area, who can remember what we used for a formula for area? Because today this was a problem in that one question. Area, how do we calculate that? It's 28, you're for sure. Neela's got it. Length times width equals area. So today a lot of people thought with the area that they should add the length and width. But if you think of it, when we learned this in grade 5, we knew that length times width equals area, and it always comes with a little square behind, right? So we actually know that the area is around, for this one, 28 centimeters squared. Good. Excellent job, you guys. I'm going to go back to our blackboard, but before we have our next quiz, I will actually give you for your convenience, the link for these so that you can go on and see how you do. Now you can go through and guess, and that doesn't help you with studying at all. But if you actually use these little quizzes right, then you can go through and try them and see how you do, and you get immediate feedback. And so then you can see, oh, you know what, I don't really understand this, or I do. And you give yourself a little pat on the back and move on. So we're going to multiply by numbers less than 1. So you can see here that 1 equals what? 1 equals what? I'm glad you can see me now. 100. Excellent. I don't know who that was. Was that Stella? Yep, Stephen. Good. So when we did our last example, decimal 3861 was 1,000 cubed. And this time, it is 100 flat. Excellent. So we're looking at a question that is actually in the book, and I wanted to do that because this is part of the learning about the math. So, Yan had a picture, good Yan, good is a good artist, that is, she's 8 centimeters long and 60 centimeters wide. And she's getting a piece of glass cut to cover the picture. And she needs to calculate the area of the picture to find out the price of the glass. So that's going to be our big question. And when you're doing problems, this is really important that you find these questions, right? So it says, draw a model of the square meter on grid paper, which you don't have to do. What fraction of a square meter does each grid square represent? It represents 1/100th. And then it says, represent Yan's picture on your model by coloring grid squares. So I've got a grid square up here, and I'm going to get my pen, and I'm going to change it to light blue. And I'm going to show you, okay, so I want to go back now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for the point 8, it's going to be all of these squares. And you can see again that I'm doing just an incredible job of drawing. But you can tell what I'm doing. I'm just drawing a line straight down all of them. And I would just want it to be one line because I want to show you what happens when you use a grid to do this. And remember, we learn different ways because some people learn in different ways. It might not work for you, but it might work for somebody else. So here's our point 8, and that's going one way. Now, I'm going to do point 6 the other way, and I'm going to use a different color. Yes, there's no limit to my fabulousness, I'm telling you. Okay, so I'm going to come back, and now I'm going to do point 6 the other way. So I'm going to do 60. You can just see the yellow streak going across. It could probably be darker. Let's try and make it darker. All right, I'm going to put my yellow streak. Oh, it's even worse. My goodness. Let's make it purple. Let's see if purple works better. Okay. Oh, there we go. So my yellow streak is going, or my purple streak is going across, and it's going across the point 6. Now, the answer to my question, 0.8 times 0.6, is going to be the overlapping squares, the ones where there's 2 colors in the square. Does someone want to tell me how many there are? How many of the squares? Oh, Ben says 48. I did 6. All right. So if we're going 6 one way, we're doing 0.6 this way, and we're doing 0.8 going down. All right. The squares that have both colors in them are the answer to the question of 0.8 times 0.6. How many squares are there? 48. Okay. So 0.8 times 0.6 has a 48 for the answer. Where does my decimal go? And who can tell me why it goes that way? Somebody want to talk? Remember today we were talking about how we know where to put the decimal. Yep, Nav, do you want to try? Oh, maybe Nav doesn't. No. Kaden, do you want to try? Ben says 8 and 6 are less than 1 whole. So we've got less than 1 whole because we've got 0.8 and 0.6. I'm going to put up a little, we showed our grid as 80 by 60, right? But what we've got there is 0.8 times 0.6. A little small, this thing is, I'm going to see if I can make it bigger. 36, let's see, 0.8, there we go, times 0.6 equals, now we know 8 times 6 is 48. So 8 times 6 is 48, and that's how we do the math, and then we place the decimal afterwards. So we've got less than 1 multiplied by less than 1. So will our answer be 4.8, 48, or 0.48? 0.48, lots of people coming in. So let's think about that. Today in class we were talking about how do we know where to place our decimal? And you're right. In this case, we place the decimal. I'm just going to get my black back so it looks more blackish. I'm going to place the decimal right there, right before. So, right before, because there were 2 total decimal places in the question, and there are 2 in the answer. But it also makes sense that less than 1 times less than 1 is not going to be more than 1. It's going to be less than 1. So, in these cases, the only options we had when we had 8 times 6 being 48 was 0.48, 4.8, or 48. Well, 48 is way too big. It wouldn't give us 48 whole. All right? So what she ended up with was 0.48 centimeters squared. It's important to remember when we're doing area to put in those things. All right? So here is today's question. And this one was a giant problem for people. What is the length of Dora's Gardens to start with? Who can tell me? I want to review this because we had Jared, your dust, apparently. He does playing hockey. So thank you very much, Aubrey and Nav. It says they both said that it was 2.0. So we're going to assume that they're right, because they are. And we're going to put a 2.0 right in that question. It's a little small. All right, what is the width of Dora's garden? Who can tell me? Aubrey's up there already. She says, come on, Fair. Get with it. We all know it's 0.85. All right, so here we go. For some reason my thing won't let me make it just a wee bit bigger, maybe 18.85 meters. All right, so the area of Dora's garden is 2 meters times 0.85 meters. All right. What is the total number of, and I just put that into the chat. What is the total number of decimals in that question right there? 2, says Gurmo and Stephen. Excellent. So we all see that it's 2. It's not 3 because we don't actually have to count the one after the zero, after the decimal and the length of her garden. We know that from last time when we were talking about annexing zeros. So 2 times 0.85 is, and you can use a calculator for this. All right, use a calculator for this. 2 times 0.85, Lexi says, is 1.7. All right, 2.0 equals 1.7. And it's going to be in meters and then squared atop. I'm just going to put the 2 there because I don't know how to get the little upper one. So that is the area of her garden. We know that there were 2 decimal places after the answer in the question that mattered. So there's 2 in the answer, 1.70. Is it? Yeah.
How does when you multiply something that is like, for example, you just did that, but the answer was lower than the 2?
Good question, Nate. That's an excellent question. So we start with 2, but we're multiplying by less than a whole 1. Right? Can you see that? So if we multiplied 2 times 1, what would we get, Nate? Oh, I'm sorry, William, you crashed.
2.
2. So would it make sense if we were multiplying 2 by less than 1, that we should get less than 2 as our answer?
Yeah, that makes sense actually, yeah.
So that's, remember we said today, there's 2 ways that we can figure out where to place the decimal. We can count, or we can make it make sense to us. So in this case, we got 170. When you multiply 85 times 2, we get 170. So we know that those all counted. Well, this is a different Dora's garden. Because Dora's garden today, I think it was a little bit different measurements. But we're fine. So 2 times 0.85 is like 85 times 2. which equals 170. Now, this needs to make sure, we need to make sure that this ends up with our answer being less than 2, so it ends up being 1.7. All right? So, suppose the length were 1 meter less, what would it be? Well, it would be 1.0 then, because we're taking 1 off. And I know I'm going overtime, it's going to take me a minute. 1.0. All right? And this is where people got messed up today, because they thought, oh, well, if it's 2, and I take 1 off and I put it on the other side, my multiplication is going to be the same, but we know that didn't work out. So I'm going to show you this. So now our length is 1 meter less, so it's 1.0. And if we're 1 meter greater, before we were 0.85, so now we're 1.85. Now when we multiply those two together, we're not getting the same answer. Okay. Someone use their calculator quickly because we've got to get finished here. What is the area of Dora's garden? 1.85. And what's the difference between the old area and the new area? All right, so that's the last thing that we had to do because there was a whole bunch in this. And this is where people get a little messed up because they don't like to do more than one step. They think if they do one thing, they should be done. Okay, so it equals 1.85 because it's just multiplying by itself. So the difference between the two, you don't need to do this, no, we're just looking it through. This was a big confusion today, all right? 1.05, good. So now was it really 1.05, the same answer? Because we had 1.7 minus 1.85 minus 1.7. So it's 0.15, all right? It's a little bit different question. All right, so if you get a chance, what I want you to do is I want you to go on, I'm going to leave this up, I want you to go on and do the try. We're not going to have any homework today. I don't think you need it. I wanted to go over this question again where you were actually sitting listening without the big distraction of the class. But I want you to actually, if you get a chance, to go on and try the quiz. They're kind of fun, all right? And just see how you did. So I'm going to leave the URL up there, and I want you to try it out and just see. All right, so the one we tried earlier, you can type the link. Just make sure you copy it down. It's just exactly how it is. So it'll take you a minute.
I can't hear you. Are you talking about?
You can log out now if you're done. I don't know why you stopped being able to hear me, Jared. Bye, guys.
I can't hear.
I don't know, that's weird. Oh, you can now.
Miss Fair.
Yeah.
So would that mean that, like, for when I asked the last question, would it mean that when you divide stuff, it would go higher?
I started dividing it. Don't you mess with dividing yet. We'll get to that when we get to it. I want you to understand the multiplying first. So when you multiply it by a number that's less than 1, your answer, if you're multiplying a whole number by a number that's less than 1, your answer is going to be less than that whole number.
A whole number time, so then a whole number, so like a whole decimal and then another whole decimal would also be, it would be higher.
Yeah, so if I'm multiplying 2.0 times 2.0, what am I going to get? You know that because you've done 2.
It'd be something higher than 2, right?
It would be 4. 2 times 2 is 4. But if I did 2 times 0.5, we know our answer is going to be less than that. So it's actually going to be 1. Okay, so you got that now?
Yep.
Okay, Nate, that's awesome. All right, we'll see you guys all at school.
Bye.
And I'll see you at
Hello, like I can't hear you. Can you type it down in the bar?
What's that?
Hello? Can you type it in the bar? Because I can't hear you at all.
Miss Fair,
Yeah?
can you type the URL in the chat?
Sure, no problem. It's just going to take me a second to do, okay? It's really fun with you. And that's a 0 in the O3. Oh, figures. Stupid keyboard. Just a second. I wouldn't believe this. I'm just... Backslash math. Okay. So Jared, you can't see me?
No.
Oh. Are you on an iPad?
Yeah. That might be the reason.
Well, it shouldn't be. I don't think that was the whole thing. There must be something wrong with your settings, maybe.
Yeah.
Don't take that one. Just a second. I got to redo it. Okay. www.nelson.com /mathfocus /grade 7 /quizzes. And that should take you to all of them, and then you just find chapter 3. Oh, we didn't even go in. Oh, for goodness sake.
I can't hear what you're saying, so can you just type it so we can log off
I'm
or
just
not?
typing it in now. Okay. What you have to do in that case is actually find the quizzes for chapter 3, and it's lesson 3. Okay. Hi, Alyssa. It's on the chat now, Gurmo. If you slide back up on the chat, you don't have to do the quiz. I'm just giving you something that you can do, so you can go if you're done. But if you slide back up the chat, you'll be able to find the quiz URL for you. Bye, Nabil. Jasmine, you don't have to do the quiz for homework. It's just something for you to do. All right, so if you guys want to copy that down, you can. That's fine. Or you can put in Math Focus Grade 7 quizzes in a Google Doc, and you might be able to find it there too. Okay, I'm going back to the questions there. There isn't homework today, Subin. I just wanted to go over what we did in class because there was a whole bunch of people that weren't getting it. Do we just listen? Somebody asked. I have tons of math homework from today. Yeah, I bet you do, Shoma, because you were a little behind, but I'm glad you got on. Yes, you can type the link. Someone was asking a question whether they can talk or whether it's just me talking. I actually like you guys to talk, but you have to hit your talk button to do that in the top left underneath your audio and video. There you go, somebody was trying it. If you click talk, it'll bring up your video and then it'll show you talking. Was that you, Chantel? Say something. Oh, it was Subin. So Subin, that just showed that you were trying that. You guys can all try that. Yikes. Who was that? It didn't use, you were so fast it didn't show. Okay, guys, remember, as soon as you've got that done, I want you to sign off so that I can get this video out to the people who want it recorded. How do you sign off? You go under Blackboard, Collaborate, and you go to Quit. Top left. So Caden, I don't know if you're still on. You're supposed to be able to see me by video chat. If I click on video, I'll do that right now. Sometimes I'm too distracting for myself. So there I am. So is that, you wanted to see my beautiful face after school? That's what you guys all need? All right, I'm going to turn my video off because you probably don't need that. Just saying. Yes, we're doing basketball and PE tomorrow, Grandma. Oh, Stephen's back. Hello, Stephen. Yeah. Okay, well, the thing is, if you have to watch the lesson, if you guys sign off, then I can go and it'll bring me the recording. All right? So once you guys sign out, then we'll be able to, I can always kick you out. Grandma, are you still on? Are you copying something down? Stephen's gone. I've got Caden, Alyssa, and Germo yet. Okay. You only have to go as far as quizzes and it'll bring them all up. Just don't put the last backslash on. Bye, Germo. Yeah, Alyssa, what's up? I think you're on your phone, right? I know I'm fabulous. You should applaud me. Oh, you're trying out all your things. Okay, Alyssa. Let's get you to sign off so that the people don't have to go through monotonous listening to me for too long. Do you have any questions for me? Okay. See you tomorrow.
See ya.
Bye.